y'all, welcome back to Kelly's Kitchen. I know it's been a hot minute. I haven't filmed since the Wednesday before my birthday. But you know, that's okay. I've still cooked. I just haven't made anything film worthy, so that's why. Anyways, thought I'd bring you back on a wonderful meal I'm doing tonight. I'm actually doing a 4-course meal with a cocktail. Tonight it's Saturday, so it is a dinner and a movie night. Typically, we do Disney Plus dinner and movie, but since it's October, figured let's do Halloween theme, right? So I had the hubby choose a Halloween movie, and then I made a menu around the movie. So he chose Beetlejuice. I'm so excited. I love Beetlejuice. So the 4-course menu is going to be, I'm making a shrimp cocktail, doing a potato, pea, and leek soup with snake breadsticks. And then we're going to have Beetlejuice pasta, which is going to be a combination of, it's black and white pasta, so it's going to be using squid ink pasta and regular pasta. That's going to be in a garlic, like a Aglio Olio, which is going to be like garlic, chili pepper flakes, olive oil, and Parmesan cheese. And then for dessert, which is the 4th course, I'm doing simple, just like caramel apple nachos. And then the cocktail, we're doing a Beetlejuice cocktail. So, I know it's a lot. Just bear with me here. We can do this. So, first thing we're going to start with is the soup, because that's going to take the longest overall. So, I already washed and got my potatoes all washed. Then I have here 6 small russet potatoes. I'm just going to peel and chop those. And then I also have 2 leeks. If y'all don't know what leeks are, these are in the onion family, okay? So they basically kind of taste like an onion. We're only using the light green and white part, so not using any of the dark green part. So I'm just going to slice those thinly. And then I have 2 bags of frozen sweet peas. The soup's going to end up being green. When I think of Beetlejuice, I think white, black, and green. So I wanted a green soup to go with it. So I got some peas here. And then we got some fresh thyme. We got chicken broth. And then there's going to be butter, milk, salt, pepper, and garlic powder to taste. So that's all the ingredients for the soup. So, and then I'm going to top it with I'm going to make like a sour cream. I'm going to attempt doing a sour cream spider web on top. Okay. And then making the snake breadstick. So, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and slice thinly my leeks. I'll show y'all how to do this just in case y'all have never cut a leek. I'm going to be honest, I've never cut a leek, but that's okay. All right, so we're just going to cut the end off here. Oh, it's like a giant green onion, y'all. That's literally what this thing is. Okay, so just going to cut it. I just want to get this dark bit off, so I'm just going to cut it right there. Oh, man. That's so tough. That's a tough baby. I'll do a little bit more down. There we go. Okay. Move this to the side. All right. It's a lot. Okay. So I'm just going to... how do I want to do this? I think I'm going to slice it into thin little... Yeah. The soup's going to be pureed. So I'm actually going to use an immersion blender to blend it all together. So it doesn't have to be all finely chopped. Just thin so it... purees easily. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can always throw the mixture into a blender after you're done cooking everything and then put it back in the pot. But I bought an immersion blender because I found that is much easier to use whenever you're trying to do pureed soups. So if you don't have one, do get one. I got mine off Amazon. So yeah, just slicing the onion here, or the leek here, just thinly like this, little circles. And then I'm going to go ahead and get that sauteing in a pot with some melted butter. And make sure y'all clean these leeks very well. They the dirt really gets down into each layer, like really on the outside. So just to make sure you get that very well. And then in a large pot, just so y'all know what I was doing behind the scenes, I have 1 stick of butter because you can't have enough butter, like really. I am melting one stick of butter, in a large pot on medium heat. That way I can saute up my leeks before I start adding everything else in. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just finishing chopping up. This is the second leek. Just finishing slicing this thing up so that we can move on to peeling and dicing our potatoes. All right, I have my leeks in the butter, just sauteing up, getting them nice and soft. And I've already peeled my potatoes, and now I'm just dicing this up really quick. Again, size doesn't really matter too much because we are going to be pureeing this with a immersion blender. That's what I was trying to think of. Sorry. I turned 30, y'all. My brain isn't what it used to be a week ago. So yeah, there's that. I'm also still trying to catch up on sleep, so that's probably part of it as well. But anyways, I'm just going to continue dicing up these potatoes, and then I'm going to throw them into the pot with the leeks and butter. Alright, y'all, so I went ahead and threw my potatoes in with the leeks and butter, just to let them soften up a little bit and just cook up. And now I'm going to go ahead and we want to cover this with chicken broth so that the potatoes can boil. So we're just going to take some chicken broth and pour. I didn't know how much exactly I'd need, so starting with one of these 32-ounce cartons. Honestly, I think that's enough. Yeah, 32 ounces. So yeah, one of those is plenty. So, because remember, we're going to add some milk to this later once it's all pureed. So, got that in there. Just going to put it on. And then I am also going to add to this, I'm going to bring it up to a boil first, turn it to high. And I'm going to go ahead and add in some fresh thyme. I'm just going to use the rest of this, so it's like half a container. Just throw those in there. And I'll fish out the stems before we cure everything. Okay, so now I'm just going to cover this and bring that to a boil and let it boil for at least 12 minutes or until the potatoes are nice and soft. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and add in some garlic powder to this because I feel like I want the garlic to kind of cook into it, you know? So I'm going to add, that was about 1 tablespoon. Let's add a little bit more. Do about 2 tablespoons worth. And if you don't have fresh thyme, you can totally use dried thyme or ground thyme. I just had some fresh I wanted to use up, so using that. Okay, so now we're going to cover this back up. I'm going to wait for the salt and pepper for it to taste after everything is pureed together. Right, y'all, it has been 12 minutes, so now I'm going to, and the potatoes are nice and soft. I already took out the thyme leaves, or not leaves, gosh, stems. Now I'm going to add in my 2 bags of peas. I had to cut this open because I'm having issues. So, add both of those in. Okay. And then we're just going to stir in the peas. Ooh, it's already nice and thick and gorgeous. And the potatoes. Smells really good too. Alright. It's okay that it's not totally covered by liquid. Again, we're going to end up adding like 3 cups of milk to this. So we're just worried about getting the peas basically cooked, thawed, whatever you want to call them. So just going to put that down. You can cover this back up and let it cook for about another 5 minutes. Alright, y'all, the peas are done, so now I've turned the pot down to low, and I'm just going to go ahead and use my immersion blender to go ahead and puree all this. I'm going to do it off camera because it's going to be loud, so be right back. Alright, y'all, we have our pureed soup. Look at how pretty and green it is. I love it. Alright, so now we're going to add in some milk to help thin it out a little bit. So I'm going to start with a cup at a time, just to make sure I don't put too much. So there's 1 cup, because I did do less than the original recipe I found called for, so it might not need the full 3 cups that she said. I also altered the recipe too, because she called for tarragon in the recipe, and If y'all don't know what tarragon is, it has a licorice flavor to it. And I don't like the licorice. So I didn't want it in my soup. So that's why I did thyme instead. Ooh. So I think, honestly, I think 1 cup was enough. Now we're going to give it a little bit of a taste here to see. Well, let me add pepper first, some ground black pepper, because I haven't added any of that yet. I did go ahead and turn my stove off because when I was blending this, it got a little feisty and it was popping at me. So that's about, I don't know, 1 to 2 tablespoons of black pepper. Again, we like black pepper, so it's on you, on how much you want. Season to your ancestors say is good. Alright, grab a little spoon, give her a taste. That's so good, y'all. It's like a potato soup. It's really what it is. Which I love potato soup growing up. It tastes like my own mom's potato soup. Alright, I'm going to add some salt because it does need some because I haven't added any yet. But I wanted to see what it tasted like since I used full sodium chicken broth. Alright, so I put in about 2 teaspoons or so of salt. Just put that in there. And then I do want to add a little bit more garlic powder into there. I like more of a garlic flavor. So, I don't know, that's about 1 teaspoon or so. Stir that up. This is absolutely delicious. I am definitely going to be making this soup again because it tastes amazing. And literally, I just made it because I was looking for a green soup. Green soup. Good soup. I mean, I guess if y'all watched. If any of y'all watch TikTok, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm just going to taste this again. That's it, y'all. I might do a little bit more milk. Probably about half a cup more. Into there. And again, y'all season it how you want it. If you think it needs more salt, if you think it needs more pepper, more garlic, go ahead and add what you want to it. But at least now you'll know the basics of how to make potato, pea, and leek soup. Okay, so now I'm just going to turn this back onto low now that the burner's cooled down some. Turn it to low, I'm going to cover it, and I'm just going to let it sit here and just stay warm while I work on the rest of the menu. Alright, y'all, so on the stove I have 2 separate pots of water that I just added salt to, like the sea, that I'm boiling so that I can make the noodles. On the pasta, I'm doing 2 different kinds, and I'm cooking them in separate pots because I've never made squid ink pasta before, and I want to make sure that when I boil it, it doesn't bleed into the white pasta. Kudos to my husband for thinking of this tip because I didn't think of that. Because I'm 30 now and my brain doesn't work anymore. It's my excuse from now on. Alright, so pasta-wise, this is what I got. So I did get these at Central Market. I had originally ordered squid ink pasta from Amazon. It got delayed in transit, so it's not here yet. So thankfully Central Market has squid ink pasta. This is what it is, just black pasta. From what I understand, it doesn't taste any different than regular pasta. It just changes the color of it. So anyways, I got this spaghetti type, and so I went ahead and got just regular spaghetti. I got some fancy Italian stuff because this is fancy Italian stuff, and I wanted 2 fancy Italian stuffs. Right, okay. So I'm going to cook both of those according to package. Once you get the water boiling, of course you want al dente. The squid ink pasta says for 5 minutes. This one says about 11 minutes. So obviously we're gonna start this one first. So while my water is working on getting to a boil, we're gonna go ahead and make our shrimp cocktail. So I am bougieing mine up, right? So I did buy here this 20 count shrimp cocktail. You can get it at the store. I got it at Walmart. And this is great, right? Of course, it comes with your cocktail sauce. It has your little shrimpies. Perfect. But I just wanted these shrimps for the actual, to go around the rim. The actual cocktail sauce part in the middle, I wanted to bougie it up a little bit, just to make it an actual meal, since this is our only protein for the meal. So this is actually pescatarian friendly for anyone who is pescatarian. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to take out this cocktail sauce because I'm actually going to use this in the bowl. I'm going to set my shrimp here aside. All right, and then I did buy another bag of large pre-cooked shrimp. I normally don't buy pre-cooked shrimp, but for shrimp cocktail, I am. So got this, I got it all thawed out. So what I'm going to do, I have a large bowl here. First things first is I want to dice up 2 shallots, about a handful of fresh cilantro, and I'm also going to dice up 1 avocado. I'll be right back once that's diced up. Alright, y'all, I got my shallots, cilantro, and avocado all chopped up in here, and now I'm just going to go ahead and chop up my shrimp. These do have the tail on, so just take it right off, and then what you're going to do is just dice it up into, I think it's about 4 chunks each. I'm just going to throw that right into that mixture and cut them all up. Okay, y'all, I got my shrimp all diced up into this bowl, and our pasta is actually finished. I'm going to go ahead and bring it over here and get it all dressed up and let it sit on the stove to stay warm while we finish up the shrimp cocktail. Alright, so here's our pasta. I already combined it together in a pot. Isn't that cool? That screams Beetlejuice to me. Alright, so I'm just going to... I already added a little olive oil to it so that it wouldn't stick because it went off while I was cutting the shrimp. But add a little bit more. Probably need a total of about quarter cup or so. Okay, and then we're going to add to this some minced garlic. I have a large spoon here, so I'm just going to do a large spoonful of it. And then we're going to add in some shredded Parmesan cheese. About half cup or so. And then some crushed red pepper flakes. If you don't like spicy, you don't have to do this part, but it's a nice flavor to it. You only need about a teaspoon or so of it. Okay. So I'm just going to mix that all around in my pasta. I wanted to do like a delicate kind of sauce in order to not... because the star of the show is the pasta, right? So I want to make sure you could see the different color noodles and it not be like overtaken by a heavy sauce of marinara or Alfredo. So try to do it this way. All right. Oh, that smells so good, y'all. Okay. I'm just going to grab a fork and have a quick taste of this. Alright, y'all, that is absolutely delicious. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cover this up and put it back on the stove and let it hang out there on warm so that it stays nice and warm. Alright, back to the shrimp cocktail. So I have that here. I am going to go ahead and add in a big spoonful of, minced garlic. Right in there. And then we are also going to add the juice of half a lime. Ooh, it's a big lime. Lime's the size of a freaking lemon. Okay. Got it at Central Market. Okay. That in there. Okay. And then now we're going to go ahead and add in the cocktail sauce that came with the other shrimp. So I'm going to use my spoon, my garlic spoon here. Okay, go ahead and give it a little toss real quick. And of course, that's definitely not enough cocktail sauce, like, let's be honest, y'all. So, I have some Heinz cocktail sauce. You can use whatever your favorite cocktail sauce is. This one just happens to be mine, because it's kind of what I grew up on, so I like it. So, just gonna start with about, come on. There we go. about half the bottle first. Let's put it all together. Carefully so we don't like mash the avocado. The avocado just gives a nice creaminess and different texture and flavor to it. Oh, this looks wonderful. A little bit more cocktail sauce. So then when you eat this, you can like dip your other shrimp and eat this by the spoonful. Makes it more fun. All right. And I'll mix together. Let's give it a little taste. So good. Okay. All right, y'all. So the pasta, the soup, and the cocktail, or shrimp cocktail is done. The apple nachos I'll make a little bit later. I want us to eat first, so nothing gets cold before I make that. So we're just going to go ahead and switch over and make the cocktail really quick, and then I'm going to plate this up and show you what it looks like plated. Y'all don't mind me. I told you my 30 brain ain't working. Your girl forgot about the snake breadsticks. So let's make those real quick. Okay. Preheating the oven at 350 degrees. I bought one of the Pillsbury French bread doughs. I was going to go ahead and open this up. And I'll be back once it's open because y'all know that pop. I don't want to scream on camera. Alright, so I got it out. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of unraveling it a little bit because I want to make a snake. So I don't need like all the dough right off the bat. So I'm just going to unravel it a little bit. You just got to kind of play with it. It's a little sticky. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some kitchen shears. I don't know if I can see that. Lower that a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut a little bit bigger on this end, and then going to go in a little bit. Just going to cut a strip. So it's obviously it's not going to take as long to bake as the wrapper says. It said like 30 minutes, and I'm like, I ain't going to take that long. Okay. I took an empty paper towel roll, and I've wrapped it in foil. Okay. I want it kind of loose though so I can slide this out because I'm going to need it again because I only have one. So what we're going to do is while that's like that, we're just going to go ahead and first we're going to kind of make a snake head. And I'm not perfect at no snake heads, y'all, but we're just going to try for it. It's kind of round, right? Just going to play with it. Okay. So I'm just going to make a little snake head here. And then the rest of its body, we're just going to twirl around like so. Okay. We're just going to make a snake. See? So, just off there. You got its head there, and then there's the rest of the body, okay? And then I'm just going to slide this tube right out. Okay, so now it's stuck together. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and make one more of these. Okay, y'all, so my first one is going to look really cute. My second one, not so much, but that's okay. All right, so now my oven is about preheated, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it in there. I'm going to start this at about 8 minutes. I'm just going to watch them until they're golden brown. All right, y'all, and the rest of the dough I just put in a bag because I have no other use for it. Of course, you'd make as many snake breadsticks as whoever was eating. It's just me and Andrew, so just needed two. All right, so yeah, that's bacon. I started at 8 minutes, and now I'm going to put this stuff away, and then we're going to start making some Beetlejuice cocktails. All right, y'all, so for our Beetlejuice cocktail, I'm using these beautiful little champagne flutes that my friend Victoria got me for my birthday. Thank you, Victoria. So to rim it, I'm going to use some honey as my stuff to hold everything together. And then I have this gorgeous white glitter baking sugar. And I'm just going to open this up. Should have done this before I started the video, but y'all know me, not thinking. Okay, ooh. And it is so pretty. Look at that. Oh, all right, so I'm just going to pour a little bit of that over here. I said a little bit. That was not a little bit, Kelly. Gosh. Okay, so some of that over there. Okay, then I'm just going to take my little flute, and I'm just going to dip it in the honey all the way around the rim. And then we're going to dip it in the sugar. Simple syrup obviously would probably have worked better. I don't have any simple syrup, so I forgot to get it at the liquor store. So I'm using honey, so it's not going to be as white as it could be, but that's okay. Anyways, that is the first one. So now I'm going to also go ahead and do my second glass. Okay, I got them both rimmed, and if I would have thought about it, y'all, I just thought about this. I should have dyed the honey red, and then it'd been like blood dripping down. Just would have been kind of cool. Or I could have done green for the Beetlejuice. Anyways, just a thought for if y'all do it. Alright, put that aside, and then I went ahead and added some ice to the glasses. And then I'm going to take my shaker, put some ice in there. Just going to pour in a few shots of Pink Whitney vodka. Use whatever you prefer. I'm doing Pink Whitney because it's a sweet vodka, and with my mixer that's not sweet, that's what I want. So I'm going to do 4 shots of Pink Whitney because I'm going to go ahead and make both glasses at the same time. Okay. And then to that I'm going to add some of that black edible glitter prism powder or petal dust. This one specifically I got from, I forget the website. But you can also get it at Hobby Lobby. And I don't know where else, but I know for sure there. Okay, so I'm just adding that. Just need a wee bit. I'm just going to put my fluid on and shake it. I'll make sure it's black enough. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So now we're just going to evenly distribute this between our glasses. And that's the breadsticks going off. I need to check on. So pretty. Right, let me check on the breadsticks really quick. They need to go a little bit longer, so I put them for another 4 minutes. All right, and then I'm going to take some club soda. I'm just going to not let it explode everywhere. Sorry, y'all. I wasn't expecting such a hyperactive club soda. Okay. All right, and now I'm just going to top my drinks with the club soda. Look how pretty. Alright, and then I do just want to, I have a knife here. Okay, I'm just going to get a little stir. I know, I could have used something better, but you know, improvising. Alright. I'll take the ugly one. I'll give my husband the prettier one. Here we have a Beetlejuice cocktail. Let's have a taste. That's what I like, y'all. It's so good. Very refreshing. Alright. Now we're just going to wait on the breadsticks, and then I'm for real going to plate it for y'all. Alright, y'all, and here we have our shrimp cocktail, our Beetlejuice pasta, our pea and potato leek soup with our spiderweb and our snake breadstick, and then our beautiful Beetlejuice cocktail. Gonna eat this up and enjoy, and I'll be back a little bit later to add to this video the apple nachos. Alright, y'all, it is time to make our caramel apple nachos for our dessert for the film. So I have 2 green apples here that I've already washed, 1 for each of us. I'm just going to take my apple core and just get one out of the way. And just go ahead and core it. Get some force behind it. Alright, and I'm just going to go ahead and core the other one real quick. Alright, I have them cored, and I just, you know, laid them out on a plate all kind of pretty. And now we're just going to top it with some caramel sauce. Just do whatever kind of design you want. I'm just going to kind of ribbon it like that on both plates of apples. And you could stop there if you wanted to, but we're watching Beetlejuice, right? So I had to add the Beetlejuice theme to it. So here I have, this is just Hershey's milk chocolate that I dyed black using black gel food coloring. I'm just gonna cut that tip off, and then I'm just gonna do the same thing with the black chocolate on both nachos. Okay. And then I have some white chocolate chips that I've just melted with a little coconut oil. I'm just gonna cut that tip off and then just do the same thing. Ooh, want some chocolate. All right. And there you have caramel apple nachos for Halloween or for Beetlejuice. Have a little taste, shall we? Mmm. Delicious. Great dessert for you or the kids.